The most frightening possibility I've seen in life is not failure, it's success. Now, success are becoming someone you never meant to be. That's what I meant. Really, just take note of this. Imagining you reaching the top of a mountain, achieving all the goals, building careers and doing everything, receiving the upload, only to discover that the life you built was never truly yours. Wow. Now, today we're talking about living someone else's life, and the subtitle is How Inherited Expectation Quietly Becomes Your Destiny. Someone will say, I reject this, but that's the truth. Many people really fear this failure, but very few fear misalignment. See, misalignment may appear not something that is no, I don't think that is true. But it is a greater danger that you don't know. You can see a person can fail and learn, but you can spend decades succeeding in the wrong direction in life. Now, this thing that have really raised a difficult question in our life: how much of your life have been consciously chosen? How much has been inherited from people around you? So as we explore on this very deepest reality of human existence, we must know that many people are living someone else's life while calling it their own. I want us to see this invisible script that they have written for everyone. Every society has written script, family, culture, religion, institution. They all wrote scripts and gave it to us, and we are living. We are just like actors. We are acting what they wrote for us. There are some people who call themselves the 1%. And they wrote scripts for us to do. Just like I told somebody, I said the schooling system in the world today is written by somebody to you. So you follow their pattern. In fact, I don't want to talk much about that, because that is going to be very much deeper and controversial, because I have a saying in that very aspect. So these scripts tells you what to do. What success look like, what failures look like, what is respectable, what is acceptable, that is what the script tells you. And so most people really never realize they are following a script actually, because they receive it before they received it before they even learn to question it. They have received it, they have accepted it. So by the time they become really adults or getting old, the script has already feel so natural to them, and it feels very obvious. So it feels very true. So what? I have to go on with this. This is one of the strongest desire that I have, that many are living entirely on someone else's life, someone else's script, not the one. Inherited desires, borrowed ambitions and so on, without them knowing. And so what has really been inherited without examination often becomes the destiny without intention that people are living today. Now, a family, let's imagine that a family has a business. It's into the whole family, they are all doctors, and everybody's a doctor. When he's growing up, they will tell him, oh, this family is a doctor family, and he falls into that, he follows them. But he becomes successful, financially stable, but yet internally he feels so disconnected. Not really because this medicine is bad, but because he had just chosen something that was just part of the family, a script that was written for the whole family. He inherited a path because that is where he is, and you see that he becomes unfulfilled in life. And this very need for approval, which is one of the strongest force shaping human identity, is so strong in the life of people. The desire for approval. And probably because we humans, we are social creatures. We always want acceptance. We want belongings. We want recognition. We want this connection. And listen, there's nothing really wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem really begins when this approval becomes more intentional than this being authentic. So then these people start making decisions based on acceptance rather than the truth itself. They chose career for approval, relationship for approval, everything approval. If it's not approved, their life becomes this performance life. If it's not approved, it is not going well. And this is one of the greatest problems that we have. And you know what? A performer is always rewarded by others. but disconnected from themselves. And you can see that with musicians and the rest people, they are always disconnected. They do that because most of them don't feel okay. I'm telling the truth. And you see, the only funniest thing I've seen is that many people doesn't understand that this thing really happened within them. They feel sometimes they will call the devil, they will call one thing, or they feel, I say, I'm tired. You are disconnected. I want you to ask yourself this honest question: how many of my goals are truly mine? How many were inherited from family expectation or from friends? How many were adopted from this culture that I have in the society? How many really exist because I want approval? Just ask yourself this question. These questions are uncomfortable. They are very, very uncomfortable. But really, this awareness often begins with discomfort. This awareness of you trying to know yourself, not living someone else's life. Now, what is the difference between expectation and calling? I want to talk about this a little bit. Expectation really comes from outside, but calling emerges from within. Simple as ABCD. Expectation comes from the outside, but calling emerges from within. It's just like you saying, calling will tell you, discover what is true. But expectation will tell you that become what others want you to become. So that is just the truth. So many people spend their years fulfilling expectation while neglecting that deeper calling. The real themselves, the real self that they have. And see, eventually they feel this strange emptiness in them. Not because really they failed, though. Not because really they failed, but because they abandoned themselves. I'm trying to be very raw with you as a pure Nigerian, speaking like a pure Nigerian. All right. So, just for example, you wore a shoe that was not yours, and use it to take pictures and do everything. At the end of the day, the owner of the shoe comes and said, "Give me my shoe." That is the life you live in, and you'll be left empty. You have nothing of your own. And this thing has really caused a lot of trouble in the lives of people. There is deep down the cost of living someone else's life. Very, very, very deep, that it happens to us. We think that is maybe the devil or something that we call it. The first thing that you will see, the first consequence of living someone else's life is you are exhausted. Very much exhausted. You are exhausted. Because you have to be maintaining it all the time. It's not you. It's not from the inside of you. The second one you see is confusion. You're always confused. Everything is upsetting to you. You don't know the next point. You don't know. You is someone else's life. He has to write on that script for you to follow. The third one you see is that there's this resentment. A quiet frustration begin to develop inside of you. Quiet frustration. These are the things you see. Because there's a gap in you. There's a gap in you. This gap, it makes you to feel that way. And many people will call it midlife crisis. Oh, I have midlife crisis. It is identity crisis you are having. There's this collusion between your inherited self and your authentic self that you have. Now, have you sat down to have this courage to question yourself? Let me tell you, awakening really begins when you start questioning your script. The script they give to you. Not neglecting everything, okay? Not rebelling against anyone. But just question. Awareness really starts with, why do I want this? Why was I taught this? Why am I afraid of this? Who am I trying to prove to? Well, what am I trying to prove? These questions will create space in you. And this space really, when it emerges, it brings about this choice. When this space emerges, when it grows, it becomes, you see this choice will come in. You see, you begin to distinguish for the first time between what is yours and what has been handed to you. I'm telling you the truth. And this is where freedom actually begins. It doesn't begin in sanctity, but in conscious examination. Let's see. Let's take an exercise. Take an exercise now. Take your journal. Write down your biggest goals, your strongest ambitions, your most important belief. Then ask yourself this question. Beside that, ask this: did I consciously choose all this, or did I inherit this? Do not be in a rush to answer these questions. Okay? The purpose is not to judge you. The purpose is for you to be aware. Now, I want us now to reclaim our life back. Don't reject your family. Don't reject your culture. Don't reject your upbringing. Just be conscious of yourself. Because really, some inherited values are they might be deeply important, okay? They're very valuable. But others may not become valuable. So, first of all, you have to have this wisdom of learning the difference. Because a matured person really is not, or a matured life is not built through automatic acceptance. No. Not through automatic rejection. It is built through conscious choice. So you have to choose on what you have to do now. So that's why I say wisdom is learning the difference. So don't reject these things, but be conscious, choose, question. All right. Now, in conclusion, I want to say this. Many people really spend their entire life trying to live or trying to meet expectation that they never question. Actually, they follow scripts that they never wrote, pursue goals that they never choose. Carry identity they never examined. That's the truth. And because of that, these people they often arrive at destination that feel strangely empty to them. So the awakening actually begins when you recognize this possibility, when you realize that awareness must come before alignment. Now, the purpose of life is not merely to succeed, it is to become. Take note of this. The purpose of life is not merely to succeed, it is to become. And really becoming requires the courage to ask, is this truly my life? The real moment that you begin questioning the script that was given to you, you begin reclaiming your authorship. You begin to reclaim your authorship, that you are the author of your life. They say Jesus Christ is the author of our life. Likewise, he gave us also the author of our own life. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to thank you for joining us for this moment. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. Send this to a friend. Call a friend to sit down to learn. And these teachings, they are going to transform your life. I promise you that. We don't joke with them. We are serious with them. I would like to see in the next episode. I have something wonderful for you, and that is why most people never question themselves. I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about the hidden comfort of unexamined living. See you in the next episode. I love you.